Yo, what's up, you guys? Your boy South Central. We back in the building, man. And please like the video. Like the video. This video is going to be very exclusive. Okay, it hits home. We got Charleston White talking about Lil Ronnie and the situation that happened with his daughter, with them being at I think a car wash in Fort Worth or in Texas, somewhere in Texas, and being unalived. This hit home like a mug, bro. What Charleston White is saying, I could relate to very much so because of the culture. Being from South Central, growing up in gang culture, and how it affected us, like as far as the youth, right? The mind controlling, the OGs, what we participate in, what we honor in the hood, and how that destroys our communities. Without further ado, man, let's get into it.
So, I mean, your name comes up because you've been speaking about this for years.
Yeah.
So when you seen that, like, what was one of your first, initial thoughts?
I put when I first seen it, I put myself, because I know his character, I know his personality. So I know he's not on the gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that shocked me because I know out of his little clique, out of his little group, out of all the rappers in the city, he ain't on the gangster shit. So I initially empathized with him from a father standpoint. I couldn't see past nothing else, but man, that nigga died with his baby. And his baby died with him. Shit, I was speechless. Yeah, I was speechless. So I was speechless.
And it's documented too. I mean, I know Go Yayo, great friend. You are also in the news because you've been trying to combat this whole drill movement that's been going on for years.
Yeah. Well, he's associated with Hood Fame and Go Yayo now. Now, them on the gangster shit. I always have been. Even though you ain't on the gangster shit, you're guilty by association.
Right. So just with the little bit that he told us, it seems like the guy, right? The guy that was unalived with his daughter, he was a good dude. Seemed like he wasn't in no mess. He had connections with those guys, but he wasn't in no mess. He ain't no stuff starter. But the things we need to understand is that you are who you hang around, and those who are hunting folks, black folks that hunt black folks, that's in that lifestyle, that don't got nothing to lose, that don't care about anything, that's willing to go as far as taking somebody's life and not think about it at all until they go to jail for the rest of their life. They don't distinguish you from who you hang around. They don't say, oh, that's a cool dude, he ain't in on that. No, I seen you hanging with him, I'm at his neck, and you can get it too. So you need to focus on who you hang around. It does matter, especially when you're in a hostile environment and those who you hang around are starting crap, right? It's just what it is. You have to pay attention to who you hang around. Yeah, they can be cool people, but you got to understand that it could get dangerous in your life, and this is at the expense of him and his daughter. So that just shows you how hostile these environments is and how hostile it can get. So you are accountable for who you hang with. So pay attention, kids. Pay attention, adults. You can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out, because that's not how life works, especially in that type of environment. Let's get back into it.
So you might as well be on the gangster. If you hanging with the gangster niggas on the gangster shit, you gotta be on gangster shit because you're guilty by association. And he's closely intertwined and connected to it. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, he Go Yayo right hand man, or his big brother, so to say. From my understanding, nigga, Chucky come with Lil Zach now, so they go way back. So you guilty by association. But when I saw the video, I said, man, them some kids that killed him.
Yeah.
them some babies.
Most definitely.
And come to find out, it's some babies. Some babies that come through my organization that I done work with. Knew them from the area. So knowing what I know, this is a long-standing situation. Between the ape gangs and the hood fame, nigga, it's been a divide in this city since these niggas been in elementary school. Ape gang started as a group of elementary kids. Hood fame out of middle school kids. So niggas cliques that started when they clicked up in gang as kids. That's when I come about. So I've been their rival. I've been their opponent since they've been in school, homie. Most of these know me from the juvenile detention center, mid-level, JD Hall, the alternative school. Most of these know me.
And I want to touch on this vital point because I can relate to this fully. Growing up in South Central, I went to 118th Street School, right? The gang that I joined was 118th Street East Coast Crips. Since elementary school, this culture been embedded in me, embedded in most of the kids that went to school on 118th Street. Most of the kids that went to 118th Street Elementary School turned out to be 118th Street East Coast Crips. Just like the people that live in, just like the people that go to Bethune Middle School. They turn East Coast Crips, 6 dudes, 6'6", 6'8", whatever, 6'9", 6-pack, whatever. Right? That's just LA terms. You could Google it and figure out what I'm talking about. Or these schools that go to these kids that go to school near Hoover Street or anything like that, on near Fig or something like that. They most likely gonna be a part of this gang. So I'll bring that up to say that as a mentor on his side of the spectrum, right? You're fighting against culture. You're fighting against social programming at a young age to where even in elementary school, we have that embedded in us. So when Charleston White come around, it's like, I'm not saying it's too late, but you fight against everything that these kids know, right? You fight against a mindset that's already embedded, okay? In elementary school, I knew where I was claiming East Coast already, 118th Street. Because I knew where I wanted to be from. I live over here, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a father at home. I got people telling me how respected this OG is. I never seen him, but it's like a tribe talking about, this person that got so much respect. This person that just, what I'm saying? Everybody fear him and XYZ. And you want to be that. You want that type of respect. You think that people will look up to you when you have that mindset, but you're a kid, right? You're not fully developed. But you have to understand how frustrating it is for mentors that come like Charleston White, right? And I always say this, it's always a Charleston White in these hoods that nobody listens to. Because these are the things that these Charleston White mentors, individuals who care about the community are fighting against. And you're fighting against culture. And I would say that the black community play into it. It plays into it. But there's always a way out. And there's always a Charleston White that's speaking against it. But we need more. We need more. Let's get back into it.
From working with them in crossing their path through the juvenile system. So I've been having my thumb on this pulse for a minute. That was my fight with the Fort Worth Independent School District. My 40, go, boom. When I saw that video and it wasn't number kids in there with guns, and then I started following the rise of Go Yayo. So, no, man. No. My this is near and dear to me. We made the news behind this. This is how I became in tour with the streets in this city. The Crip and Blood. Because I'm saying, these y'all kids in they gang. So you got Crips and Bloods in the same gang together. Most of the OG that was doing the doc, these was y'all kids and y'all nephew that's just doing this shit. So that's how I started fighting with the street. So when I seen this, And I know we know who done the shooting. The name just coming up that's doing the shooting.
Yeah, they identified the shooters, but they haven't. I guess people in Fort Worth may know, but
yeah,
publicly they haven't released the name yet.
And this was a kid who everybody had on the internet. This was a kid that made the internet rapping.
And it's funny because in the hood, you know who gonna be the next gang banging ass kid, the badass kid who gonna be the upcoming, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna hold the name of the gang. Who gonna be the next guy? You could tell who gonna be the next flock of kids who gonna hold the name of this gang. You could tell. You could tell who gonna be one of them. And it just shows that the culture is so strong. It ain't about Crip and Blood. It could be VD Vice. I don't. It could be anything. I think it's the culture behind it that is responsible for the destruction of the black community. And it's happening. People starting to see it now because he was liked by most people, I guess, and this is why it's out there. And plus, it's a kid that got caught in the crosshairs of this situation, crossfire of this situation. So, in this review, I want you guys to pay very much attention to what I'm saying and what he's saying, because I could cross-reference what he's saying, and he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. It's just the culture. Let's get back into it.
I cussed out his mama. This the little kid talking me to everybody be posting this, and he ain't gangster.
The shooter.
He was hanging with J-Dub, and he was hanging. So all these were murderous children. J-Dub was a serial killer. He had 2 funerals. So it's been a beef within our city. This ain't the first baby that done got killed behind what these done done. This ain't the first baby that done died in Fort Worth, Texas. This ain't the first father that done died with his baby. Just last year on the southwest side, they shot up some shit and 2 babies died at a car wash with their dad. It was just last year. This ain't new. But because he's a popular rapper, the same baby that's being accused of shooting his went to juvie for shooting a 2-year-old in the Buttercups. This ain't the first time a baby done got shot. But because it's a rapper and he's a popular rapper and he's a well-liked rapper, now oh man, this is sad. This ain't sad. This is normal. This ain't new.
Let's stop it there again. Another situation we could relate to as far as being in Los Angeles is the Nipsey Hussle situation. Just like this, right? Everybody's mad because Nipsey Hussle was killed by his own homie. He was unalived by his own homie. And it was a big uproar, which gang has gathered together to go to Nipsey Hussle funeral, and everybody's confused. The guy's outside of California. Yes, that's the culture. They were mad. We were mad because I was mad as well, because that's Nipsey Hussle. Because you only cling to people who affected you in a way, either negative or positively. And I would say that Nipsey Hussle was a very positive figure, very, very good teacher, and much respect to him. But most people, it was an uproar because nobody seen, especially when you watch the video, and I want to talk about how vicious it is, but it due to his family, but it was a very vicious situation. But how could a person treat his own homie that way? You gotta understand, that's normal. That's just normal. That's how the 60s get down. And I would say that's how most gangs in LA get down, especially with the backdooring and all this other stuff. And it's usually hood beefs. Most of their homies kill their own homies. And they even coined a term in the 60s. You ain't a real one until you kill one. And they talking about their own homies. So when you think about Nipsey Hussle, you think about that situation is rare, and who would do that? Why would they do that? It's normal. It's normal. It comes from a line of backdooring, disgusting behavior when it comes to this gang culture. But they don't tell you about that, right? You just want to be gang so bad, you don't understand how destructive it is, right? And women and children are not off board. They're not off the board. Okay, it's foolish. Let's get back into it. some very rich information here. Let's get back into it.
If you remember 7 years ago in Chicago, a man was getting into it with some niggas online. They beefing online. He go to the McDonald's drive-thru. They kill his baby in the drive-thru. It was all on social media. It wasn't no backlash. And they went online bragging about killing the baby. It wasn't no backlash for that. So this is the time Charleston come out and say, man, I keep telling y'all, I told y'all, this is where y'all become hypocritical. Because we have an obsession with entertainers and rappers and street niggas. We love them. But the common man and they baby can die every day and we don't have this same level of emotional response or compassion. Our neighbor, our own cousins, our own brother, our own aunties.
Again, this is real. This is part of why I started my channel, man. Coming from South Central, coming from a highly effed up culture as far as gang culture, because it's inconsistent. It's all lies. It's all the black community. This Black Lives Matter is false. All of it's false. We will eat at each other in a minute. You know, you watch these prank videos where dudes going in the hood with a PS5. They don't embrace the guy. They say, hey, twin. They call you twin like it's a form of endearment, and they rob your behind. And on camera, pull out blick and all that. When you not causing no harm, you just probably, and if this was not a prank and not on camera, imagine a guy that don't have much, but he bought his children a PS5, trying to go through the project, trying to give his kids the gift. But he got robbed on the way of doing it by his own kind. There's no love in these environments, and they want people to go back to the hood like Charleston White. Give back, go back. That's foolish. That's foolish. And they wonder why people don't go back or look back when they go out, when they leave these areas, because it's borderline traumatizing. Not even borderline, it is traumatizing seeing what we've been through and not trusting other black folks, because it's hard to. It's very hard to. It's very hard to look at other black folks like they have your best interests. I can't trust you. I can't trust you. I gotta know what you own, because I don't know who you know and what you own. And that's the reaction to the culture, right? And making it out the culture. But my thing is this: it seems like Charleston White is fighting the parents for the individual minds, right? When he say he argued with the mom, and he tried to talk to these kids, right? He know these kids. He knows them. He tried to talk to them, but he's fighting the culture. He's fighting the parents as well, right? So it seems like in the hood, we in order to get these kids out the mud, it's like mud and parasites, and clean them up. In order to clean them up, you got to get at the parents. You got to get at the OGs. You got to get at you get the culture, the hood. You gotta, in order to save these children, it's like everybody should be on board with this. Why aren't we? Why aren't we? And my thing is, most people aren't insane. So if things aren't working, you just start, not saying you give up, but I don't keep poking at a bear knowing what it's capable of, because the hood is capable of doing something to you. And then guess what? You're just another, oh man, you shouldn't have been there. Oh yeah, go to the hood, man, get back. It doesn't, but soon something bad happened. Why was you there? That's just so stupid. And this is coming from the people that love you, like your family, your mom, okay, your dad, your daughter, your son. Why would you do that? But on the other end, you got people on the internet saying, yeah, you're supposed to be coming back to your hood. Focus on who love you, who's in your best interest. I would say that. Okay, don't go back to the hood if you know it's dangerous and there's no love there. Makes no sense. Let's get back into it.
So I'm saying, man, yeah, it's sad. But as angry as y'all think y'all is, this happen all the time, homie. And I hear people say, women and children off limits. Those have never been the rules. Who told y'all that women and children are off limits in the streets? That ain't never been the case. You can go back to the roaring 20s When the Italian mafia first come into America during the Prohibition era, women and children have always been the casualty because all they say, if we can't get you, we'll go get them. The cartel will go get them. So who told y'all that women and children are off limits? Remember we started gang banging, y'all? And they started doing drive-bys and you would go shoot up somebody's house not knowing who was in there. Children and women got shot then, people. We kicked in his door. We took his main honey. Kill both. I'm looking at rape. I'm looking at kidnap. It's in the lyrics. It's in the movies. So I just want to let people know there are no official rules. There is no real rule book to the streets.
I'm gonna have to be honest. This is my first time disclosing this information. My very first time being in trouble. Okay. My brother was robbed, right? I never been in, even though I gang bang, that's just crazy, right? Gang bang, didn't do too much foolishness in the streets. My first time ever been in trouble and going to prison was because of my cousin, right? My brother was robbed, okay? We went back to the place he was robbed, and we went to the person's house, the closest person's house to where my brother was robbed at, right? My cousin hopped out the car. We couldn't find the guys, whatever, right? Being very direct on who did it, who was the cause of being robbed, like who was the cause of the act of robbing my brother, right? Being very direct. Now we couldn't find anybody, right? Nobody was outside. Great, time to go home. Like mission closed, right? Cousin hopped off the car. He said I didn't come for nothing, right? So I said, "What you doing?" He said, I didn't come for nothing, man. What that mean? So he pointed at he pointed firearm. We was already, I can talk about this because we were already charged for it. So basically he pointed up in the air and randomly, right? And I told him, hey, don't do it. Right? Start firing inside somebody's house. Come to find out it was a grandmother and a child in that house. Okay. I don't agree with that. Never did, never have. Be very direct on what you do. But this is the culture. Okay. He was still able to walk the main line. There was no problems for him in jail. There were nothing. It's just gangster shit. And my thing is, where's the accountability, right? Me going to prison for the very first time, me going to jail. Met a whole bunch of people. And my mindset used to be on that woke shit. Black people don't deserve to be in jail. That's another form of slavery. XYZ. Niggas deserve to be in jail. Most of them niggas deserve to be in jail because most of them had that mindset of when I get out, I'm gonna do it better. I got caught because I was lacking, not because I was doing something wrong. Because I was lacking, I need to get better at what I do. That's their mindset, and it's hard to tell you that because you don't see it. And I'm not the type of person that's gonna tell you something and not allow you to see what I'm saying. But that's all I got right now for you, right? They got caught because they was lacking. And I met plenty of people in jail that killed children, killed mentally ill kids just because they had the wrong shoe color on or whatever fuck. But they were still able to walk the main line because nobody's holding them accountable. But if you still in jail, oh yeah, you get your ass whooped. They'll stab you up, they'll boot you to the curb. But doing something so heinous like that it's normal shit. It's understandable. It makes sense to me, right? To the majority of folks in jail, as far as holding other people accountable, great, right? That's how that works. But that's when you start learning that there ain't no referees in the street. There ain't nobody gonna keep it clean. Ain't nobody gonna be there to keep the back door closed. It's just when you in the streets, you in the streets on your own. You think you got homies, but you really on your own. You think you got a conglomerate of folks who care about you because you're part of this big organization who say they're supposed to care about you, but most of the time it's cliques within a hood. It's cliques within a clique, right? And most of the time when people gang bang, they're involved with their own family members that gang bang because their homie's not gonna treat you right. You're foreign, even though you're from the same gang. But they don't tell these kids that they want to be gang and they want to be a part of something that it don't even make sense. And I will say this too, that everybody's mad at the police officers that put people in jail. I think that the black community and the culture is the prison, the pipeline of prison, the pipeline. Okay, the pipeline to a quick death is our own people, the culture, the teachings. That's the pipeline to jail. Okay, we do it. Our teachings, our culture. We're putting people in jail. It's like a literal factory. When you're growing up, indoctrinate you, get you ready for prison, because we're sending them off. We're sending our own kids off. Not to fight for their country, not to be prideful and do something that's honorable, but to live your life in jail. Who's the Who's Who podcast, right? The destructiveness of rapping and rapping is not destructive, but it's the way you do it. The culture of Chicago, Chirac, gang banging culture in LA. It's just what it is, and it's very destructive, and we do it to one another. And I just say to stop lying to these white people, bro. If you black folk Cajun, say it. Don't get mad when you hear something racist, because to me, we the worst. We the worst at it. We the worst at it. We can be we worse. We done beat the white folks at this when it comes to abortion and all that. But that's neither here nor there. But to be honest, it's just that's what I created my channel for, to combat these things, because it doesn't make sense to me. The hood don't make sense to me. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. I grew up in it. I thought it made sense. You know, don't snitch, don't do this, don't do that. But it just doesn't make any sense. And when the rules get broken, who are there to make sure that everything's fair on a fair playing field? No one. Let's go back into it.
These rules are made up as they go along. There are no rules. The rule is, it ain't no rule. It ain't no rules to do wrong. Man, children are off limits. No, they're not. Because I know some to get your kids if they can't get you. It's been done before. That's what started the war between the Jamaicans and Dallas back in the day, when the Jamaicans went and killed the woman and the children. That's how the war broke off and started.
Let me ask you this. Does Fort Worth, does it get more dangerous after this, or does the authorities tighten up?
It's already been dangerous.
But do authorities tighten up? Because now this is worldwide news. You said it's a rapper now, so now it's a high profile case, and it's a kid. Do authorities tighten up, or does the streets get crazy this summer?
The authorities don't tighten up. They're desensitized to this. This don't move them, because they see it more often than we do. We only see it when it's publicized. They see it when it don't get no attention. They've been watching this beef, homie. They don't watch all these kids grow up just like you. When they get the killers, it's hard for... Homie, when they catch the killers and the killers are babies, it's hard for you to be outraged. We're in a legislative session in Texas right now. When we done that interview with that young lady who killed that kid who was trying to break into the house, homie, we propelled that lady into a national spotlight. She's now in Austin with a law that's being passed with her name on it, that people who live in apartment complexes who rent property can no longer be evicted for protecting themselves with a gun. She got a law changed because of her experience. Nobody's gonna do nothing about this. These young niggas are already warring and killing.
He cooking. It's hard for me to stop it, because he hitting on so many great points. And to me, it's like, why on this topic itself, as far as the police getting more vicious, getting more on guard. The thing is, why do we, even if they wasn't, my thing is, as a black community, why do we need them to straighten things up? Y'all hate them so much and F the police and this propaganda against the white folk coming into the black community to try to control us, and we need more black police officers. Yet I shame anybody that want to be a police officer because you're not for the people. You're Mr. Crack a whip and put chains on black folk. My thing is, if we're civilized individuals and we know right from wrong and we know, we know how to treat one another, why do we need people to come into our community and police us as if we're savages? And we just can't, we can't figure it out. To me, it's sad because, and I hate to bring up politics in this situation, but it matters because they grift, right? The Democrats grift off of this, saying that we need social justice and all this other crap. What about us treating each other well? Because they don't bring that up because it's not profitable. It's not okay to hold black people accountable. You rather police us harsher and say or eliminate the police force and to go into these communities because this is the only type of protection we got. Because I would say that the hood is complicit to this type of behavior because we ain't got no way out. We still got to live here. So if we do, report this person to the police officers, whatever, you got to understand majority rules, and it ain't even got to be majority. It could be most people don't want to be in other people's business. Most people don't want the same actions pointed towards them. So they just get out the business, even though they know right from wrong. Okay. And also, they stay silent because they know that nobody gonna come for them. Nobody gonna help. By the time something's done to me, it's already done. Okay, not to blame the police force. They're not future tellers. All right, they're not. You know what I'm saying? They're not fortune tellers. But the thing is that we keep each other at bay. We force our own communities to abide by these rules that does not make any sense, which keeps us down. But blame the white man. But blame the government. And these political parties are the political organization that specifically was talking about is at bay to this too. They're accountable for this too because they play into this because it's easier to get people to look elsewhere than to look at themselves. And it's hard to hear this as a black person because I already want to hear it at first, but it's real. It's the programming, and it's also the feeding into it. Yeah, you are a victim. Yeah, it is everybody else's fault. But what about us? Oh, that's not the percentage that I'm talking about. There's black people are a monolith, which is true, but mind you, most black folks came from these impoverished areas that think like this. But when we make it out, it seemed like y'all don't care. Well, you made it out. Shut up. Why? So what? You got money now. Let's be quiet about the hood, man. If you're not trying to help us get out, then don't talk about it. No. Helping you get out is switching the mindset. And we got to attack the mindset in order to switch it. We got to hold you accountable and let you know you got a problem before we start, fixing it, because it's a poison. And I can get infected by playing around with it. Let's get back more into it.
I'm almost willing to believe this is what the police department want. But I know some people who work in the police department. I know some people that run the violent intervention prevention program out of Fort Worth, Texas. I know their spirits. I know their hearts. And I know this ain't what they want. But nigga, ain't nothing nobody can do because it just didn't start today. These seeds was sown when these was elementary school. How you go come uproot that shit? The roots of this. Man.
You said the city went against you when you were trying to go against the Fort Worth drill shit, and now you said you're not trying to make it about you, but you've been trying to warn people, and people were entertained with it for years, and then now everybody's upset because of shit that they helped.
But this is what I want to tell people, because it's Lil Ronnie. And Lil Ronnie is a well-liked individual. Great personality, good-spirited, good-natured, popular guy, well-liked and likable. So it's easy to hurt with him and for him It was a kid that died with Go Yayo in Houston. Lil Brandon. He was a kid. This ain't the, I'm saying, homie, they shot up a house. Another kid was killed on the couch. Its children have been dying in this city for 12 years or longer due to the youth rap violence. I ain't gonna say but this little nigga was in elementary school.
So you claim you know who killed Ronnie, allegedly.
Well, yeah,
is this not out there yet?
Yeah, we know who the police looking for.
Okay.
That's why they won't say his name. Yeah. Homie, but all these little homie, they got me. Homie, listen. 4 years ago during the pandemic, they had that mass shooting at Wilbarger Park. 500-600 some people outside for Easter or Mother's Day, one of them. Old women, children. These same little group of had a shootout. Shot a 17-year-old girl who mother had, homie, kids been getting shot and killed in this city.
Why not say his name? Why do you think they're not saying his name?
Because
retaliation.
Let law enforcement do their job. I said his name on Facebook to the people that know. I said it last night. But I done fought to get this little kid out of jail before and to help this kid.
But you see that people that speak out against the gang culture and the street mindset, but it seems like even with Charleston White, man, like I said, I love this guy. I listen to him a lot, and he got to go back there too. So, he got to protect his image in some way, form, or fashion. He does have a family, My thing is, why do we partake in a 1 foot in, 1 foot out? Let the police do their job. You're not helping them. So, at what point is silence? At what point is silence complicit in the situation? You're okay with it because you're silent, not talking about it. There's no change, right? And at this point, I think he probably know that the police already got, they already know they already know who they got at this point. It's the situation. They know who they looking for. But I'm gonna bring it back to the Nipsey Hussle situation when Cowboy, right? And y'all can look this up if y'all don't know what I'm talking about. But Cowboy was Nipsey Hussle's big homie, our friend, more than a big homie, his friend, his compadre. He got on the stand, and he was still officially a gang member at the time. He's an OG guy. He basically gave a statement on the guy's trial, maybe, or something like that, and spoke to the police and this and that. And people are speaking out. Gang members are saying that he did the wrong thing. I don't care if you a gangster, bro. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. But at what point does silence become and at what point does your silence become your agreement to this behavior? You opted into it by saying I'm not gonna say nothing about it. I don't agree with it, but I'm not gonna say nothing about it. When do we start fighting against this behavior wholeheartedly? Not 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but my mission is to stop this. I don't care about how people feel about calling me a snitch, calling me this, calling me that. But in the hood, that snitch word is like detrimental to your character. Not making it to heaven by doing the right thing, but just being called a snitch is like terrible. I don't want to do that. But to me, I just stopped caring. I just stopped caring about snitching or calling the police. It doesn't matter because it's a lose-lose situation. Just the culture. If I kill the guy, I still got to go to jail, especially in California. It's the way you kill him. It's if he turned his back, did he run? Did he shoot at you? You shot back, and is your gun legal? Is it this? Are you a felon? There's just so much stuff you got to worry about other than not being in that situation. Call the police, get them up off you. Certain things you got to do to protect yourself and your family, your wealth, right? That you're fighting against people that don't care. They don't have a reason to care. They have nothing to lose. Imagine fighting a battle with your hands tied behind your back. but you agreeing, you are compliant to the laws of the streets. And he just admitted that there is no law to the streets, it's created. But we play into it mentally. We go back and forth, and I would say that's my critique with Charleston White here. Oh, yeah, let the police do their job. I don't care about the police doing their job. What I want to stop, just like Trump said, okay, you ain't got to agree with Trump, but just I agree with this mindset. I just want people to stop dying. Stop killing our babies. With the abortion situation, with the street situation, stop killing our children. And we need somebody that's going to override this foolish mindset, because it seems like those who are against it, they one foot in, one foot out. You listen to J Hood, you listen to the Who's, you listen to my boy C Star. You listen to these folks and they keep saying, yeah, cuz blood, this and that, yeah. And they want to get rowdy on the internet, but kids, don't do this. But you're not listening. Like, you're not listening to your message. Either you're going to be in or out. And be real with your message. This is how you get people to listen to you fully and really respect what you're saying, because you're not playing into both sides. And that'll get you hurt too. Mentally. It'll get you hurt mentally, physically, emotionally, because you one foot in, one foot out. Stop playing the game. Stop playing the game. To me, I don't care about what the hood say, because y'all are anti-black as hell. Y'all the worst with black folks. But you want to tell me what not to do and what to do. But you're okay with killing babies. You're okay with unaliving remedial kids just for having their own shoestrings. You're okay with blasting up a grandma's house. But you want to tell me what not to do. Stop. Stop talking to me. You don't care. So don't tell me what to do. You don't control me. And I'm taking my life back and my mind back. Right? I'm against it. I got to take my mind back, because it seemed like this is the slavery that we was talking about. But yeah, we got the slave masters in the hood. Let's get back into it.
They've been caught at school with a gun and a 15-year-old. So this kid really shouldn't even be on the street. He ain't no kid. He's young now. A little rapping young. A little rapping young homie, playing gangster. Was the weakest out of all the little kids we used to engage. Was the weakest. He just didn't have the parental supervision because his mama was a hoe. A hoe mama. The bitch that the little young rap nigga his age. The hoe mama, the whole street mama that hip, yeah. But it's gonna be hard to be mad at these kids, even though they killed the 5-year-old. Right now, everybody is emotionally responding and reacting. And by the time spring break over with, and the kids get out of school for Memorial Day, and Memorial Day parties and festivities kick off the summer, this too shall pass. They'll forget about this. All this emotion, all this attention is geared toward this Fort Worth rapper and this 5-year-old. This will die down and go away just like everything else, and we'll go back to being normal, and this won't bother people no more. But it's going to continue to happen, homie, because it's part of our culture now propagates a cycle of violence amongst young people. It propagates and promotes, homie. And not just propagates, promotes, it propels amongst our culture with young people.
What did you take away from the surveillance when you first saw it? The top left corner.
Nobody know what to do, homie. I heard people say what it should have been done. Nobody know what to do. You don't know what to do till you're in that situation.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't let you don't know what you would have done, because it's hard for any man, any woman to override their nature. When you as a man get ready to go pee, you don't sit down to pee, do you?
No.
Your nature, you stand up and pee. A woman, she go sit down. When you get hungry and you're not intentionally trying to fast and be on a diet, you don't go against your nature of being hungry, right?
Right.
So one of nature's first rules are self-preservation. Yeah, you would dive in front of a bullet for your daughter. Yeah, you would catch a bullet for your mama. It's easy to say that. Bugatti, baby mama stood up during the shooting to go get her baby and died and got killed. That tragedy was just as sad as this tragedy. But some form or another, I bet you can connect the dots. CJ Casino and Go Yayo were just beefing. Come to the city. I'm on your block. Nigga, it was just 6 months ago. Nobody in the city stepped in and said, come on, man, let's woo, woo, woo. Where the big homies? No OG, no nothing. Somebody say bring back the OGs. The OGs ain't never been shit. The OGs have always been the one to mislead the young fuck over the young. That's why the young don't respect OGs.
Is it that, or is it the young niggas is getting too much money now to where they feel like they got the power?
Homie, the OGs have always fucked over the young niggas. The OGs ain't never played it fair. Here, you hold the dope, you ain't gonna go to jail, you go to juvenile. The OG was the same big homie selling dope to little homie mama. Playing OG, cause we from the same hood. But I'm serving your mama though. I'm tricking with your mama. Then when you come work for me, I'm gonna have you selling my dope, but you're not gonna be eating like me. I'm gonna be giving you $20 off every 100.
I got two stories that reflects his messaging here, and this without the messaging, this without the stories, you could put it side by side and see what he's saying as far as the OGs, because especially in California, we got OGs, we got. This is why you hear the names, right? You got to understand this is called generational game banging. When you hear a person say, "Oh, I'm newborn XYZ, I'm Lil this, I'm baby this," there's a big one. There's always a big top guy that these folks listen. It's a pecking order, okay? And it's always guys at the top that survive somehow, some way in these wars, right? The vets, right? That's what it's like, right? It's nothing like it, but that's the only thing I could, to have you understand it, how it is, okay? Got the vets teaching the young guys that when I was gaming, right? This was my first little hood function as far as just in Los Angeles, right? 118th Street, you got 118th Street Day, right? Which means it could be January 18th, 118, okay? Went to the hood function, all right? We met in our OG backyard, G-Rat backyard, right? And this OG is now deceased, but he asked some very, very interesting questions to me. He knew my mom, right? This is the dude that everybody looked up to, named Odie. He pulled me to the back. He said, in front of everybody, put me on blast. Said, "Hey man, what you willing to do for the hood? Like, if I told you to do X, Y, Z, right?" And I'm in front of all the guys my age and a little older. Right? I think I was one of the youngest dudes that that got quartered on at the time. It said, "If I told you to do something, would you do it?" Right? This is the OG speaking to me, and I said, "No, it depends on what it is." And everybody was shocked. Like, wait, what? Like, wait, that's kind of weird, bro. Like, this dude questioning the authority. Like, it depends on what it is. I'm not gonna just do what you tell me to do, right? And then he came to ask me another question. Okay, so what you got to offer to the hood? Then, like, if you put it on, what you got to offer to us? As if this is some prestigious organization that's gonna give me back what I put in, okay? And I couldn't really answer him because nothing I can really do for the hood. Like, what can I, like, what do you want from me? That's my question. And everybody was so confused at the time. And then, you had some OGs like not everybody gonna be that person that's gonna kill, steal, and destroy. Some dudes is just here, you know what I'm saying? Some dudes are good dudes that trying to do well for themselves, but then also they'll talk about, oh, if he gonna be a doctor and go to school, we could have a homie for that. So it's like they trying to use you and corrupt you in some way possible, right? But the younger dudes were so surprised. And then, all right, that's just one situation. There's another situation outside of this hood day situation to where they said this guy was an OG, right? We was on 120th in San Pedro. Those who know. OG, it was an OG guy, right? Named Toon or something like that. He's like, hey man, we're gonna go up in his house because he seen somebody moving out, I think. And he seen a whole bunch of, he heard that this person had a whole bunch of stuff in this house. Right, mind you, I didn't know this guy, never met him, nothing like that, right? And they said, but people knew of him. So they're like, yeah, that's your OG, da-da-da. Okay, great. Me and my, younger homies are chilling out. He like, yeah, man, y'all gonna go in there, right? And he's just talking with authority. Y'all gonna go in there, y'all gonna, take this person's shit, we're gonna run out, and if if he say something, y'all know what to do, right? Take the gun, you know what to do. To me, I told the homies, no, that don't even make no sense, bro. We live here, like, bro, we literally live in this. They gonna find, like, bro, it just don't make sense. It's like crash test shit, like crash test dummy shit. Like me, I was like, wait, what? This nigga on bullshit, bro. I told them, no, we not doing that, bro. We not doing that. That's fucking stupid. But and mind you, nothing happened. But had I been retarded, right? Because I never done a drug or anything like that. I was retarded for gaming, of course. Right? I was a good student, but like, mind you, this is programming since I was in elementary. You want, like, this, I'm coming home. This is what they call it when you game bang in California. You're going home. You're coming home. This is what I'm supposed to do. Right? This is becoming a man. Okay? I went home. This is my hood. This is my home, right? Had I been a dummy that just didn't question anything, I probably would be in prison for the rest of my life right now. Yeah. And along with my compadres, the homies, right? That are some, you got a few of them that's doing jail time, right? And I would say that you got to pay attention. You still got to ask questions and inhale, right? When you inhale, you got to be the light. You got to be the light because your life depend on it. And that one bad decision could end up being your life. And it felt like that when I went to prison as well. And I would say, kids, don't go to prison. It's all fake, phony, and false. Okay. And that's the end of the video today. And I'm just happy to share this information with y'all and, have y'all become a part of the South Central family, man. It's been rough. And I appreciate you guys for watching, and please like, comment, subscribe. And I have more for you guys. I went through a lot, been through a lot, but it's the reason I created my channel, because I know there's more people out there like me that want something different for themselves. But it's the mindset. Once you change the mindset, everything else come behind that. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, get my word out here. I think I deserve to be heard just as much as anyone else, because there's a lot of people that's stuck in this culture that don't know that they have a way out. Right? It's mentally draining to think that it has to be something different. I was that kid. I was one of those guys, man. Please support your guy. South Central, we out.